Starting. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hi, we're on air.
Yay! We finally figured this out. Welcome to National Domestic Radio's May episode. We've been pretty busy for the last few months, and we're just trying to get back on track. So here we are.
Yay, trying things differently and just so
Accommodating busy schedules.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, we're a little bit. When was the last show we had? February, March? No.
February?
Whoa, yeah, it's been a while.
It has.
We've been around. We've been
crazy.
So, yeah.
So, Tati, tell us what you've been up to.
Oh, I actually just came back from the INA conference. Got here crazy late last night, or tonight, actually. We were in Chicago. Well, technically, I was in Schaumburg. Never made it to Chicago because that's where the conference was. But it was awesome. It was very busy. Lots of people, lots of new people I got to meet. Really great workshops. I mean, it gets to a point that's not like you're really learning new stuff, but a lot of things are just like reassuring, like, yes, I'm right. Yes, I knew this. So for me, it still counts.
Good pat on the back.
What?
It's a good pat on the back.
Yes, exactly. But we had some, I love just meeting new people and talking to a lot of people. And as you said, like I am officially on the board now, and that's pretty exciting. So we also had lots of meetings. So yeah, Thursday, like the whole morning, and then yesterday, till I don't know 12:31. A lot of stuff, and Tati, that every New Year says, "I'm not gonna take on a lot of things. I'm not gonna be doing a lot of things." And
is it?
Here I am, like chair of 5 committees so far, and I'm like, why? But I'm excited, and there are a lot of things that I want to be working with the ladies. The work they're doing now, and bringing ideas. And it's great that now. Well, I've been ambassador for INA for a while, and people I remember can definitely. I had relationship with the board before, so of course when I had concerns, and now I could always come and tell them about things. But now I'm more accessible. And I'm there. Nanny's voice. You guys can talk to me about anything that you would like to bring up on the board. I'm officially on the education committee, government committee, government and public affairs. What else? The exam. There's a lot. So
did you
anything you need, just come talk to me if you need anything.
proctor this year?
I was a proctor, yes. On Thursday afternoon, I proctored. There were some new, well, not new nannies, but some nannies that I got.
New to INA.
Yeah, and several on Thursday and several on Sunday, which is pretty exciting.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really great. Of course, Helen said goodbye, and we had Candy taking over. Helen had an amazing speech on bullying. So she talked a little bit about, and I think she's being bullied in her year as an nanny of the year, and would really love to have her on the show and talk about it. But that's something that's been going on in our community, unfortunately, in the nanny community. And as she said in the speech, it isn't acceptable. We are, role models for kids, right? So if that's happening among grown-ups and among nannies, that's definitely something it should be addressed, and we need to talk about it.
Yeah, it's really something that's been rampant in the online groups and on Facebook, and mostly, but in all platforms, really. There's just a lot of tension as those groups become bigger, and a lot of the admin positions have changed hands over the years, and I think that definitely can tend to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah. And I think what are people trying to get? And one of the things that I loved about this weekend, I got to chat with a lot of wise nannies that I consider wise, the older nannies that have been around forever, that know the stories, that were there. I really love for those moments, and I just love connecting with, old blood that's been in the industry for INA just went, like, was it 32nd conference,
I think it's
which
over
is,
30 now.
yeah, it's 32nd, which is just as old as I am. So I was like, oh, look at that. And then, speaking of nannies that were there from the beginning, and I loved it. And I was like, there's so much wisdom there. And one of the things we talk about is just like the power that nannies sometimes they don't have control and just a charge. And when they, now that we have those community online groups, and we all know online is another danger itself. People can hide behind fake names, and they,
The keyboard warriors too. Saying things
so
you didn't say in person. All of a sudden, you get very confident,
yep.
overly confident when you're, talking to someone online.
Yeah.
And I think it gives some people a false sense of security.
Yes, exactly. Uh, Actually, the national nanny trainer had a friend of mine, social worker, came and she talked about cyberbullying, and we heard great things about it. So I definitely, maybe we should interview her on the show too.
Hmm. Was there anyone this year that you were particularly excited to meet?
Um, let's see. I think I met everybody. I don't know. Maybe just to focus on the board that I know what I would have been working with.
Mm-hmm.
But I pretty much knew. I mean, I met, and you know how shy I am. It's not like I go and I, become BFFs hanging out with people. But but I already knew, I got to see, Candy again, and we saw her at the ball.
Yeah.
Some of the news from last year. Let's see. I was not, I was sad that I didn't see some of my friends. So my friend Pachi, shout out for her, my virtual assistant too. So I actually met her for the first time at INA last year, and we became best friends. And she does a great work for me. So I was like, oh, you're not here this year, and that's where it all started. So it was actually good to look back and see it. And then last year I met Mara, also from Brazil, and she was from LA. And LA or San Francisco? I think it's LA. And she was also not there. So there's some people that I was really looking forward to see again, and they didn't come.
Oh, bummer. Well, hopefully, next year.
Yes, absolutely. And did you see the announcement? Do you know where it's going to be?
Yeah, Arizona, correct?
Yes. Well, that's exciting. Spas and resorts. And
It's going to be warm.
oh, yes, it will. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yep. Looking forward to it. I mean, we were in Arizona last year, and I know I wanted to go to Sedona, and I didn't get to. So now I need to look at the map and see how I can get there, and if it's feasible for me to go in a day or two earlier. And
yeah, I would say I think it might be a car rental situation, but I don't know. We have a whole year to plan.
True. Well, the whole thing, the problem is now that on the board, like I literally, oh my gosh, I got there Wednesday, and we had meetings to start and meetings to end, and so it really, like, I didn't get to Chicago. I didn't get, like, I had maybe 1 or 2 evenings, but I slept great. So even though I didn't get to do tourist stuff, I was in bed at 9 and I slept till 7. So I had like 2 10-hour sleep days, and that was amazing. So that counts. It was like, because it was a busy day, and
yeah, I'm glad you slept well, though. That's always kind of hard when you're traveling and in a hotel. And
I mean, out of 4 nights, it was 2 horrible nights and 2 really good nights. So
yes,
so that was good. Yeah, but looking forward to next year, of course.
Well, let's see what has been going on more locally. We just had National Nanny Training Day last month in April, right? Yes, last weekend in April, I think.
Yep.
So that was fun. You are a co-organizer of the Metro West event, and Massachusetts actually had 2 events. There was also a Boston/Cambridge event this year. I think at MIT.
And what?
Was it at MIT this year?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think they did that. And great report from both events. Matahari, I know they had huge attendance again, over 200, 250, but like a lot of new members also from Matahari, which was amazing.
That's good to hear.
And they're pretty jazzed up and excited about, organizing, which is awesome. So a lot more advocacy coming in, which is pretty exciting.
That's good. We could always use more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Metro S also great success. Like don't know if I said, like, I had, Jim was the one counting, but I had 53 people in my first workshop. And I was like, what? So I did not expect, like, I hope, I was thinking that the redirecting behavior workshop was going to be the hit. And it was actually career planning. I was like, wow, interesting.
So those are the two you gave, career planning and redirection?
Yeah, the art of redirecting behavior, and career planning was bomb apparently. So it was
Well,
the one that got like most, best feedback and the favorite workshop. But it was also the one that I got pretty much 98% of the reviews in there. But yeah, it was really great. But all the workshops we got feedback, like everything was awesome. They really loved
that's great.
everything that was offered. So I was excited, and we had a really fun group of nannies and really new nannies too. We had a high schooler that she was so cool, and I was so proud of her. I was like, oh, I love seeing new blood and like seeing how you're gonna become so awesome, and I want to hear about you in the next few years.
Like like us.
What?
She's gonna grow up to be just like us.
Yeah, better. That's what I say. I always want to see them doing better. But it was great. And so I had this idea. I want, we focus on team building and community building in this year. That was our theme. And it went amazing. Like we had some team building workshops. Everybody loved it. And I brought 1,000 piece puzzle with, I don't know if you ever saw it, but with children's books cover. And I told them, I was like, I want to brag about you guys. So you better do that puzzle today. You guys have about 8 hours to finish. Let's see if we can do this, and we did. So all together we finished the $1,000 piece puzzle, everybody together throughout the day. Of course the ladies at the end, they were just like, no, we can't go until we finish this. But yeah, they did. It was amazing. I was really proud, and I was talking about this too. I was like, you want community building, talk to me, because we just had a very successful event that was all, toward that. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We have some events coming up this summer as well.
Yes, I was going to ask you what you've been up to. We talked about me. But...
oh man, life has been busy. My current position is ending this summer, so I am elbow deep in the job search, and I feel like, not that I've necessarily gotten lucky, but the timing has just worked out really well with all my previous searches. So I really haven't had to search all that hard. And now I'm like, I've been on probably half a dozen in-person interviews, probably at least like 10 phone interviews, and all the emailing back and forth and talking with agencies. It's another job, finding a job.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, I remember that.
And I do try to be a little critical. If I don't feel a strong connection with family, after a phone interview, I just sort of end things there. That's fine. I have plenty of time to search for the good fit, but it's still a lot of time and effort. All those phone calls and interviews, and it's like, then I feel like my mom is like wanting me to recount everything I've done, and I'm like, I need a spreadsheet because I'm getting families confused.
Yeah.
And I'm also like trying to find something that's not too far. I don't want to have a ridiculous commute. And that's tough because Boston has traffic, and I'm either going to be taking the train or I'm going to be driving, and I'm going to have more traffic. So this sort of is what it is, but the search is going well. It's just, I wish I had a personal assistant some days.
Yeah. I haven't really officially started mine. I have, a lead, and I'm planning on hopefully now June, July, trying to do it. But this is the thing, like, it's not that there are no jobs. It's just there are no jobs that I really, I know part of me is like, oh, I have options, but I really want, I want to work less. I definitely want part-time. And my current family, I could continue with them part-time, but the hours are just afternoon. And as much as I really want to stay for, like, for me, working afternoons just doesn't work. I'm not going to be productive in my other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm really, very specific. I want 2 full days, 2 to 3 full days, 7 to 5, hopefully. But I also want consecutive days. That's the thing. It's like, yes, there's others that are not, but if I really can find, a consecutive, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that'll be perfect.
That would be, yeah, the preferred.
Yeah. Especially, I can see the conference. Like, I'm going to so many conferences in the next couple of months, like this year and so next year. And some conferences start on Wednesday and Thursday. So it's like, yeah, with like I will, I definitely don't want to be working like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And oh my gosh, can we talk about Sorry, I'm going to be nice, but there is this idea or illusion that I see a lot of parents that are requesting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And talking to them, they think it's just easier because then it can be an office one day and then they can be with the kid the other day. But for me, it's just like
parties.
What?
I feel like that's more difficult for all parties involved.
Yes, thank you. Okay, there you go.
Especially the child.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. I've been kind of holding back, like I'm not gonna say anything, but I don't have glasses, so I can read. Sorry, Mr. Awesome just came here.
Hi, James.
So, sorry, what was it? Oh, yes, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. It's the routine is different. Even though if you guys follow this, it's not consistent. Even if you guys are following the same thing, it is
never going to be consistent.
Every day. Exactly. So
no matter how hard they try.
Yes. So thank you. I'm gonna have to write about it. It's like, parents, I know you think it's easier, because you can go to the office and then come back and see your kid and not miss your kid, but it's not. It's not easy.
I think it's easier. I mean, especially for the nanny too, because you just get in like the work week. You don't want to start and stop your work week like every other day. Because then you really just can't be super productive and do anything, especially when it comes to like, if you want to do anything professional or personal on the weekends and you need a long weekend, that's really difficult when you're on that sort of schedule.
Yeah.
That's sort of, it's right up there with, I had an agency and I had no interest in this job. I didn't even have them send my dossier to the family because I wasn't interested, but she did tell me about the position and it was a split shift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I start my work day, I finish my work day, I go home.
Yes.
The end of the story. I have no interest in coming in at like 6 to 10 and then working like 4 to 8.
Yeah.
That's not going to work for me.
I did that when I was an au pair, but for one day of a week, and that was my longest Sundays. I used to work 5 to 8 or 5 to 10, and then 6 to 10 at night. Yes, it was horrible. Yeah. Exactly. So that's one thing that I see, and I think it's really an illusion. They think like, oh, it's good because you had Monday. It's like, no, it's not. Especially kids, and no. So I'm really avoiding those like a plague, and those are the ones that I find if they have. As again, like it's not that I'm really looking, but you open and you browse. Like I get messages, and I'm trying to keep that 100% rate. So I have like a cut and paste thing that I just answer people like not interested by. But interesting enough, as always, right? It's like Murphy's Law. The last couple of years, I remember going to search. I could never find a full-time job positions. There were more part-time when I wanted full-time. And then there were more part-time when I wanted full-time. And now that I want part-time, I'm like, where are those part-time positions? I'm not finding them.
I would sort of agree with you with the current job climate. There's a lot of full-time positions out there.
Yeah. That I haven't seen those in years. Yeah.
I feel a little inundated right now just because I'm like, there's just so many. And like, because I'm also not from the area and I've only lived here a few years, like when I'm, list like the neighborhood or the town they live in, every time I'm looking it up on a map because I have no clue where most of them are.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if it's even north or south or west, unless it says like Boston and what neighborhood in Boston they're in. I'm sort of lost after that, which is frustrating. I wish I think agencies or care or something should have like a map and like pin all the jobs on the map.
Yes.
So we could like look.
That's a good idea.
I need official representation of where the jobs are.
Well, once I started, I definitely choose, because when I start job search, I usually just start like the 5 mile ratio, and I know that's really not. But like it's because I really don't like commute. I hate commute. If I have to drive, it
And
cannot
five
be more
miles
than
in Boston could be an hour.
exactly. So
I mean, it's not like when my mom, when I speak to her, she's like, 5 miles isn't far. It's only a few minutes. I'm like, Mom, 5 miles in Boston could easily be an hour, depending on which part of Boston you're going.
yep,
Like, I have no interest in commuting over an hour. It's just not going to happen.
nope.
Not when I commute 5 minutes to work right now.
Yeah, so that's the thing too. I know it's hard when we, had amazing families, amazing kids, great commute. Like, it's a blessing and a curse when you're moving because you're like, oh, okay. But
It is, yeah. But I think overall, I feel like the job market's pretty good right now. And I don't think either of us is in a super time crunch, so I think we can definitely use that to our advantage.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, like I think we still have like 3 months away. Summer's not even here yet, and
Yeah,
that's why like and I think in my life, like I've only been unemployed for what 2 weeks, and I shouldn't even say that's unemployment. That's like the time that I actually overlap from a week, from one job to the other.
yeah,
So it's not that I'm worried, but I think once we know for sure that we're moving on, there's that little anxiety there that you just want to have things line up, and it's much. I
okay.
mean, yes, you definitely don't. I actually don't mind going to interviews because even like sometimes I go and I know I'm not taking the job. It's just like really, I do like educating parents, and I feel like
Yeah,
I can do my job and I can help them, to find a better nanny or just to know what to look for in a nanny. So I'll take one for the team many times, but it's
that's one
definitely
of my
easier.
favorite things too. Is even if I don't take the job, I do feel like I'm educating parents no matter what. I have a copy of the domestic workers law in my portfolio, and I just generally talk like when we go over. I don't keep my contract in my portfolio, but I keep like a table of contents for my contract, and if they can read it over if they have any questions, and I sort of explain like what's legal and what's like sort of standard.
Yeah.
Because obviously the standards here in Boston are quite a bit higher usually than what is legally required.
Yes, true. Yes, and it's as you said, it is us setting also the standard here, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's good for them to see like the more we educate parents, the better they will see what rise the standards of what they're accepting or what they're willing to accept or working with.
Yeah,
Uh, but also know that yes, career nannies, professional nannies, this is what you can get. This is what you should expect from a professional nanny. So,
yeah. I
yeah,
feel
I
like
don't know.
I also have a bit of an ulterior motive because even if I end up not taking a job, I feel like I tend to get a lot of car seat checks out of interviews. And I don't charge for the car seat checks. I do require that they come to where I live because I'm not like giving my service for free and coming to you.
Yeah, of course.
But it is nice to do car seat checks because that's my other passion, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way for me to spread the knowledge.
Absolutely, and you know what? You should have your reviews. Are they at least leaving your reviews on Care and whatever? They should. You should get that from
Yeah,
them.
well,
That's the least you should get.
most of my interviews have actually been through agencies
Okay.
lately, which this is the first time I've done a lot with agencies because I really haven't gotten to the point where I needed any
Mm-hmm.
help because I've just found jobs quickly before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I've been working with the Boston Nanny Center and American Nanny Company. I think that's the biggest ones that I've been getting jobs through right now, or like getting interviews through, I guess. Um, but it is nice because I feel like I don't have to do some of the tedious stuff that care.com requires. Um, as far as like messaging back and forth several times to see if you're even worth like if we even have the same needs. And that's one thing about care that just gets me. It says on the top, not available until fall. All like, are you available in June? Is June in fall?
Someone to start as soon as possible. Yeah.
Like, And I find with the agency that the families have already done their homework. They already know a little bit about me. I already know a little bit about them. We already know our needs match up.
Yeah.
And that is worth it to me because they do a lot of the tedious stuff beforehand. So I'm not, sending the same cut and paste message on care.com 50 times.
I actually maybe we should collaborate. I'll help me out on that. I do want to do a training for parents on writing, posts on care and finding a
Oh, that's such a good needed thing.
I should ask my employer to go through it with me because I want to see how the post again, like she actually wrote a message and I was like, great, this is good, but there's yes, music is, we play games in this house, or music extra points. If it was like, stop just clicking and adding the stuff there, because
take 10 minutes and type a paragraph.
Exactly. It's like your child matters and your family, like, come on, aren't we in the age that everybody's unique and important? So let us know about your uniqueness. And
I actually have done it from the I obviously have done it from the caregiver standpoint, but I've also done it from the other side because I hired a housekeeper that way. So I had to create a second account because it won't let me do both. Gee, I can't be a nanny and have a housekeeper, like, whatever. That's for another day. But so I did go through like the prompts and stuff. It's not the same for childcare. As for housekeeping, obviously it's a little less structured. But one thing that surprised me a couple years ago is someone said, "Oh, well, you don't know how confusing it is to make those ads, and you don't know what buttons to push." I'm sorry. I didn't think it was confusing at all. Yeah. I was actually surprised that someone would even say that as I went through it. I was like, this is so easy. If you read start date, what you're looking for, days of the week, pay, part-time, full-time, occasional. Yeah. Honestly, care.com, I think, makes it pretty simple.
Yeah.
I think
I do, but there sometimes they say like availability and they check all the boxes, or they check just the 8 o'clock and the 5 or 6 o'clock. And I was like, oh, I assume that's full time. You just didn't put it in between, but whatever. You didn't check that. But just like I hate the whole the pre-written sentences option.
Yeah, and I think that is CARE's effort, so it's not just blank.
Yeah,
I get that, but I also think it gives parents an excuse to just cop out and not take 10
right
minutes.
Now it's just as awful, or it's just as useless. I mean, for me at least, I just feel like
I agree.
I still don't know about you.
And I feel the same way about dating apps or dating websites. If it's blank, you're not eligible. Like, at least it has to be like 2 sentences. Otherwise, I just don't care. I'm not going to spend the time of day. I've spent lots of time adding photos and a video clip and getting reviews on my profile, telling you about me, my driving record, all those things. And for you to not even say like 2 sentences about your family is just like, I just have no interest in working for you.
But I think, the other thing that I don't get it's on them, because now I know from the app, you can see how many people applied to that job.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if you do a generic thing, but you put you're willing to pay $25 an hour, you see those get like hundreds of applications. I was like, and it's going to be on you to actually filter that, like people that are just sending one generic message. If you were able to tailor everything and, talk more about your family, then they will take time to read and understand your needs. Maybe it's not going to go with their needs. You don't have to go to the hassle of looking to 100 and 150 applications. There's a parent that messaged me. I felt so bad. I was like, wow, that person went to 160 something applications. And I will feel really good if I get hired, but I was like, wow, you've been through quite a lot there. But, actually that one didn't, the hours, it wasn't what I wanted. But can you imagine, like, especially if you have a new child and you're a new parent, which is, I assume it's pretty, they get pretty overwhelmed with a lot of things, and then you have to go through that. It's just not necessary. So I just feel like, just put a little bit more effort in there, or more dedicate a little bit more, and the results, the end's going to be much better.
Yep. Well, I think that's a fabulous idea, because I think it's a skill that more parents need. And maybe care.com, there's more care.com can do on their end to make it just a better system.
Yeah, I think so. I actually saw, which I thought was sad. There's some of the specialists that they have that help families, and I saw one post that was also the same things. Like, really, are you paying a specialist to write the same thing that you could have been writing? I should be nice. Sorry. Yes. Oh, the joys of job hunting.
Yes, I mean, I think from our standpoint, but also from families, it's a little daunting for everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know, and it is the thing. It is a part-time job, but so if you have a job, it is like it's actually a toe. If you don't, like, there's no excuse because you would be busy.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
I know. I think that's something my mom taught me when I was young, like high school, college, getting kind of those first jobs. Is that looking for a job should be a job. That's how much time and effort it should take.
Yeah.
It should be like working a part-time job. And she's right.
It's funny you're saying you were doing a spreadsheet. I think I got it really recently, but and it wasn't even with Froggy because this family, I think the transition was actually pretty easy. They found me and I just went to that interview, which was amazing. But before them, I think when my last job hunt, I definitely had a binder and I would print out all the families that I would, be communicating just to make sure that I knew who I was talking because I get really overwhelmed. Like I get lost. Like I mean, in any given day,
Believe
like
it.
right now, I leave my profile up and I get like at least like 5, 7 messages a day because people don't read. But so I have those are easy to scan, and I have someone helping me that would just go like not available. Thanks for reaching out. But then if I am trying to communicate with people, then I need to like really organize myself so I know who I'm talking to. Okay, you are this child. Okay, this family, this place, and otherwise, I would have no idea what I'm doing. It's like, oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. I think actually early in the year, I did speak with some, and I think those came from agency, to be honest. But when I was like my saga for twins that I really wanted, and I got a little bit overwhelmed because the information were almost the same because they're all twins, and I was like, oh, now there's no differentiation here because the area was about similar too, and I was like, oh, this is so hard now. But I didn't go through any of that. So, but I know myself, and I definitely need to organize myself if I come to really go into lots of interviews.
That's a good idea. If this keeps going at this pace, I'm gonna need to start a binder.
I printed out their care
Profile.
post. Yeah, the job post, and then all the notes, and I have I can show it. Well, I don't know if I have the template here, but then I'll add a note of my phone interview and then in-person interview, and just so I keep it all organized so I know who's who. Because also sometimes you start talking to them, they take their ad off, and then you don't have the info, and then you're trying to look, oh, it says closed, and then you cannot access it. It's like, but I'm still talking to them. So yeah, I learned that before. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good tip. Well, I think we have chatted plenty, and hopefully we will be back at this soon. We're gonna try and get back to our once a month schedule, and hopefully more frequently if
Yeah.
as well. So.
Oh, exciting. Yes, you guys should keep following us and let us know if you want to participate. Send us videos. We do collect some testimonials if you want to send it to us, and we can bring you to the show, or you can participate live. That would be awesome too. And I guess that's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Evan.
Nice to see you. Bye.
Bye.